Hello all heroes and welcome back to Invincible guarding the globe, and today we are going to be briefly going over the current restricted arena. This time around we are rocking with support characters. Support characters are interesting because by nature most of them aren't really meant to do damage, meaning that these particular battles can get very interesting and the competition of your team can matter quite a lot. Now, the good news is we do have a few options in the support category, and a few of them are pretty dang good. First of all, here is Robot. Just about everybody who cares even a little bit about having good characters will have Robot built. Not only does he do an actual ton of healing, but his Rockets Away ability actually does have a stun and a minor but still existent damage over time effect. If you do get this ability upgraded all the way, it can go up to 3 seconds, but that's only if you've heavily invested in Robot. But even a 1 second stun is pretty dang good. And on the flip side of that is Adam Eve. Not only is Adam Eve one of the best supports in the game by a noteworthy margin, quite frankly, but also she has lots of shields and this ability that works very well with Robot, where if she chucks out shields while she's with a member of Team, i.e. Robot, those shields will actually bounce back some damage to whoever inflict said damage. Now, I am in a rather privileged position here because I've given my Adam Eve quite a lot of love, but I haven't really given this skill a lot of love. I mean, it's not massive, it's not really necessary per se, but it is still good to have. But if you get her other skills maxed out, she is going to be a nightmare to deal with. Next, I'm also going to give some love to Green Ghost. Green Ghost is an interesting one because she doesn't necessarily grant immortality, but she grants the next best thing, which is invisibility. Her skill here, Hide and Heal, when an ally drops below 30%, she teleports through them, gives them a little bit of healing, and makes them invisible, meaning they can't be targeted. It's not perfectly clean like invincibility is, but invisibility is still kind of the next best thing. And then, of course, her main ability here also has stuns, keeping in mind that factoring in that we're using supports, and supports are not known for their damage, we have to factor in debuffs, offensive effects. So stuns are going to be extremely valuable in this particular arena. If you do get her all the way up, not unlike Robot's fourth ability, this does go up to 3 seconds. That kind of seems to be the thing. These stuns, they start very low, then if you power them up, they go much, much longer. And she can steal buffs, which is kind of a neat little thing. I don't think anybody actually uses that in any kind of practical capacity. But if you did invest in a Green Ghost, or you invested in her for the sake of her case file, you might actually get some use out of her. I'm going to have to give a dishonorable mention to Angstrom, unfortunately. See, here's the thing with Angstrom. His skills, I mean, these two skills, I mean, they're kind of their own thing, which is fine and dandy. They do okay. But it's his passive, where he gets the Mauler tag and increases the charge speed of the Mauler twins. Do you see any Maulers in the support category? I don't think so. Yeah, unfortunately, Angstrom is going to be permanently kneecapped in this particular arena. So, unless you're like me, where he's one of your strongest characters, you might want to leave him on the bench. Now, Cecil. Cecil's a complicated one, because on a normal day, Cecil is meh. Because funny enough, he actually does decent damage for a support, he's just not very good at being a support. Well, guess what? This ain't a normal day. This is restricted arena. So in this particular case, that's a big old caveat on that one. In this particular case, he actually kind of works. The hammer over here deals a hefty amount of damage, especially if you do get it leveled up. And once again, chance of stun. It's not a guaranteed chance, but hey, a chance of stun is still better than nothing, which is pretty good. His teleports can kind of keep him alive, which is never a bad thing. And the Reanimen in this particular one, if you get them leveled up, so you're getting this damage over an area, and they have better stats, The Reanimen in this specific arena will do better because, like I said, supports are not meant to do a whole lot of damage. Against a DPS character like Universal or Invincible, no, yeah, the Reanimen just get shredded, just viscerally exploded. In this case, though, actually, it's kind of not bad. You know, it's kind of okay, believe it or not. It kind of works. Next we'll go for Russ. I think Russ is actually a pretty good pick for this for a few reasons. One, his main ability scales on the hero's max HP. So as long as he's got a lot of HP, this can do damage. It's not reliant on his attack stat, which is already saving him pretty good. And once again, it has stuns. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? Stuns are going to be your friend in this bad boy. This will help you pretty decent actually, because attacks by allies gain that lifesteal when attacking humans. A lot of supports are humans, so that's actually going to serve you pretty well, get you some healing. This one is interesting. Once again, kind of focusing on the whole debuffs. Disorientation does inflict confusion on the enemy, meaning that they will effectively be stunned and even attacking their own people. Pretty nice. And then this is just kind of some healing and a defense buff, nothing too crazy there. It's really his Swarm of Sequids and his Disorientation that is really doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. So those 5 are the mains, and then Cecil is kind of a special one. I'm going to... Oh, wait, I almost forgot Red Rush. I forget about this guy because, unfortunately, I don't have him built. But Red Rush is going to be king in this bad boy. He does good damage. He can silence the enemy. With his Speed Demon, he gets a stun, you know, I mean, and if you get it leveled up, it works at the beginning of the battle, kind of like a Thula effect, where once you do get it leveled up, it does work at the very beginning of the battle. The only problem with this is you have to get it up to level 10, but it is a worthwhile level up, because literally it stuns the enemy for 4 seconds, and absolutely tanks their physical resistance. So that on its own is already really good. When an ally is below 25% HP, he grants them invincibility for 3 seconds. That can go up to 5 seconds and increase their crit chance. Basically, kind of like Green Ghost, only it's invincibility instead of invisibility. He can save his allies. And then this one is just a really good one because even though it doesn't technically have a stun, it kind of does shut them down for a couple seconds because they're constantly flinching. And then a little bit extra crit damage is not too bad. So here's the thing. It's unfortunate that I don't have him built because Red Rush is going to be your best character, followed closely by Robot and Adam Eve. Now, I would put Shapesmith on that list because Shapesmith is, by all accounts, seems to be a great character. If you have a Shapesmith properly built, use him. Because, like I've been saying, he's got debuffs, he's got this confusion on there, he's got healing. He's really freaking good. It's just he's still very exclusive. Even with Cecil and Darkwing 2, they've at least been in the game for a while, so rare as they may be, we've had a fair chance. Shapesmith is still pretty new. He's fantastic, but he's still pretty new. Darkwing 2, I mean, I guess I can give him the benefit of the doubt here and say that he can participate. I can't even stomach talking about him. It's just, his skills just don't work, because, I mean, yeah, okay, this brings him into the this brings an enemy into the Shadowverse with him for a few seconds, but it takes him out too. That makes no sense. His passive freaking sucks. I mean, literally just a slight cooldown decrease against Malefactor enemies. That's just terrible. At most, it'll delay him by a couple seconds, and weirdly enough, Malefactor enemies have a weird tendency to actually increase their cooldown, so at best, he's just zeroing that out. This is fine. It reduces the enemy's crit chance by a meager amount. And then he gets a taunt, which is so weird because he's not a tank. He can't take those punches. And then this ability this is just sad. It's just sad. Don't use Darkwing 2 unless you have no other choice. So yeah, if my optimal team would be Adam Eve, Robot, Red Rush, Green Ghost, and Russ. Or I'd probably replace Green Ghost with Shapesmith if I had him. Which is a big if because, well, like I said, he's pretty new. So we are going to get into a battle here. I think I was trying to make Angstrom work on this team, but it just wasn't. Because the problem is he needs... Oh, that's humorous. He needs to have that... Actually, you know what? Let's put you there and let's put you there. Angstrom he needs those maulers to work, and if he doesn't have the maulers, then he is just horribly kneecapped. I mean, we're pretty overpowered on this one, but I do just want to just have the fight out. Like I said, that's the nice thing with Cecil is, in this very specific instance, his Reanimen can kind of work. It's situational, but this is the situation. So, yeah, that is the current restricted arena. A little quirky, but at least we do have some pretty good options. But, yeah, so we're going to leave it at that. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and we shall see you next time. Have a good one.